Hey guys, this is ggurface with DuckloadRa versus LiquidTLO. This is game number 2 between two players in the Intel Extreme Masters Edition. This is still in the group stages, so we have not made it to the quarter, semi, or the finals just yet. The map is Delta Quadrant. DuckloadRa is playing as the red Protoss in the lower left hand corner, and LiquidTLO is playing as the blue Terran in the lower right hand corner. There is a tower in the middle with a little fog around it, and we're going to see what each player is deciding to do. I think right now it's the best 2 out of 3. I don't want to spoil any results for anybody. If you want to check out game number 1, do go ahead. I have uploaded that one. I think this is a very, very even matchup between the two players. They're both very well known for their distinctive styles. Right now we see DuckloadRa sending a probe out to scout. I think DuckloadRa is actually WhiteRa because he did sign with Duckload, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's his new sponsor, so he actually puts the Duckload in his name and then he puts the Ra because he's WhiteRa, you know? And he does scout correctly and he'll be able to see this SCV building and he's going to do some harass. And the probe is stuck, but he could probably click it out, can he? Oh, yes, he can. What you want to do in that situation when you're stuck is you click on a mineral patch and then you'll get unstuck, and that's how the pro players do it. That's how that one probe was able to escape. Unfortunately for LiquidTLO, he's not scouting in the right direction. This probe just wandering around. Oop, he actually took a shot at the destructible debris, actually helping out LiquidTLO by accident. And SCV scouting. Barracks going up, nothing too interesting just yet. We see a gateway as well as an assimilator as well as a refinery, so both players pretty much matching each other's fighting stances, if you will. And this probe wants to delay the tech lab from going up, but we do see that the lights are blinking so that a marine is coming up. So he actually leaves and he's standing right outside for some reason. This SCV is still unable to find the base of DuckloadRa, as we do see one Zealot. He has been favoring to get some Zealots into the mix before the Stalker, as a lot of Protoss players do favor to skip the Zealot, but not DuckloadRa. And this Marine, 2 Marines have spawned, so that he was able to push away DuckloadRa's little probe. LiquidTLO just scouting around the base. Now he should be going the correct direction. I think the one Zealot's coming out. Maybe he'll be able to meet that little SCV, and no, he actually does get in, and he will see that the cybernetic core has just gone up. There's a boost on a Stalker. These probes actually try to chase the SCV. I think normally you don't want to chase the SCV because you can always click on a mineral patch and have him escape, so I don't think it's a great idea. But if you send one probe, it's alright because you're not actually losing any mining time, because the other player also is having the same thing. And ooh, a Marauder spawns, and they should be able to micro these 2 Zealots no problem, but DuckloadRa insists, and then he's chasing after his one unit, but LiquidTLO can micro his units really well, but this Zealot will give him some scouting information, as he does see that LiquidTLO is on 2 gas, and he does get the 2nd gas himself. A Starcraft coming in, and he's going to fight with this one Marauder. No, he actually decides to run away because the shield does regenerate, so it's okay. He actually took a little bit of HP damage, 19 damage to his HP. 2nd gateway along with a robotics facility coming up. I keep on calling it robotics something else. Marauder is chasing the Stalker across the field, decides to give up for now, as he's waiting for more. Ooh, we only see 1 barracks, no, 2nd barracks coming up. Maybe we'll see a starport as well. Right now we do see 3 gateways. I thought it was 4 gateways. He actually puts a robotics facility in there. That's why it's a little bit off. Pylon in the front, always a good idea, as it does allow you to warp units outside of your wall, and if you choose the wall. We do see a starport going up as well. Very versatile build. This is the 211 maybe with an extra barrack, not the 111 build. And the robotics facility does finish. Ooh, and instead of a observer, he does get a warp gate. A critical scan goes off, and he will see that he is getting the robotics facility and not the Stargate, and not the Twilight Council. These units staying around the front, trying to get a good positioning for the sentry. The sentry is very, very important for the Protoss player early on because it does help cut the force in half or make the force more manageable. One Stalker on the side working on those destructible rocks. There's another pylon warping in, another sentry warping. Always good to have multiple sentries, as you do not want the other player to take down one sentry and then you lose the ability to keep your gates open or closed. And we do see that there is additional units put in the back, and we do see one warp gate with 4 Zealots coming in for a drop, and these 4 Zealots do come in and they do take down one SCV. Maybe a second SCV might go down. And wow, he picks up all 4 Zealots. Very, very nicely done. Observer coming out into the field. He will see that there's a Hellion coming out and 2 Banshees actually coming out for LiquidTLO. And we do see one Immortal. Very reminiscent of last game, and then he is making a Stargate. I think he suspects the Banshees, and that's why he's making the Stargate. The Stargate, the Phoenix is a good counter to Banshees, as Banshees cannot shoot air. And here, peeking up the ramp, seeing exactly what's there, LiquidTLO retreats with his 1 Hellion. And this one Warp Prison is trying to do wonders for DuckloadRa, as LiquidTLO is actually moving out with a quite substantial force, Marine, Marauder, and 2 Banshees, and he does get dropped, however, in his main base. I don't think any SCVs has gone down, but he has lost 1 Zealot. Ooh, I think 1 SCV does go down, a Hellion goes down. And then now he's making a Warp Prison inside, and he really needs to keep this entrance closed. As he does keep the entrance closed, he's not actually warping any new units inside the base of LiquidTLO, but he's trying to keep his ramped. At the moment he's focused firing the Marines, he's microing back the Stalkers. Very, very nicely played, and he should be able to pick up 1 more Marine, as this Warp Prison is still enough in play, and he warps the Zealots into the enemy base. This is very, very good usage of the Warp Prism, and he did manage to take down 1, I think 2 SCVs there, and the Zealots does go down, and then he's pushing back with the Stalker. Ooh, very, very nice action. Stalker pushing back into the base, and he's going to be able to warp in more units as he's pummeling the front door. They're pummeling on. Oh, he kills off the Warp Prism, and he decides to go for a Tech Lab, and he does kill off the Tech Lab, as that is actually 1 of 3 Tech Labs, so that would not hurt very much. And the Stalkers are trying to decide if they want to go in, and the Observer is providing sight so he can actually see it. An expansion is being taken up by DuckloadRa at the moment. Sizable force moving out, trying to engage, and they will engage. At the moment, the Banshees are focused firing on the Stalkers, and so are the Marines, and this SCV is out front trying to tank, and they will be able to take down this Immortal and a couple of Stalkers as well. Not a very good situation, but he is able to retreat to his base, and he might be able to hold off the ramp at here with the number of Zealots available. But there is a good number of Banshees that needs to be taken down, and these Phoenix do provide the support that they need, exactly the support. And then these Zealots should make quick work of the Marines, while these, you could probably micro this Phoenix back, and ooh, the Phoenix and the Viking go down at the same time. Another Warp Prison coming out for the Protoss player, DuckloadRa, while LiquidTLO is getting another Banshee. He hasn't really rebuilt the Tech Lab just yet. He's massing a lot of Marines. Still not getting the second expansion just yet, as DuckloadRa is trying to saturate his natural expansion directly inside his base, as this base has no entry, no ground entry. I mean, air you can always enter. So it's a pretty safe expansion. 4 more Zealots get loaded up into the Warp Prison. Maybe we'll see further harass. He will see that a command center is going up, but this set of destructible rocks has not gotten out. Maybe he's aiming for this natural expansion directly outside his base. This one Observer is inside the base of LiquidTLO, and he should be able to see. He does see the expansion has not been taken. A couple of Zealots, Phoenix coming out. Ooh, this is a very nice, healthy mix of units in here. And we do see they're going to drop off some Zealots in the back. and he does set up the warp prism, and the Banshees are taking down the Zealots relatively quick, and the Phoenix are coming in taking a few shots at the Banshees to discourage them a little bit, and these two Zealots are working on the refinery, but they haven't gotten the refinery down, and this is not a very good drop by DuckloadRa, as he does not succeed to take out much of anything. Both players still on 000 upgrades currently. I think there is going to be a slight income difference, as DuckloadRa does have a little bit more units and more probes collecting. LiquidTLO sensing that he needs to expand. He does know that this expansion has been taken, so he's actually expanding, and he's moving out with these good number of units to see. Scouts are being sent out by DuckloadRa, and two Phoenixes are gonna go around the back to see exactly what's going on. Ooh, this one Immortal and couple of Zealots actually out of position. They might have been able to snipe it just there if he actually decided to go in. And he's approaching now. He scans, and he doesn't have any anti-air at the moment. But then D2 Phoenixes come back. They're taking shots at the Banshee, and two Stalkers get warped in, and they're destroying these pylons, and these Zealots trying to engage, but they can't get a nice surround on the Marines as they are all bunched up. And the Stalker is gonna go down. The two Phoenixes do go down, and this one Banshee, this one Stalker goes down, and the last Immortal goes down. And right now, DuckloadRa is in a world of hurt as he's trying to warp in more units, and I don't think it's a good idea to warp units right in front of your opponent, because you probably want to warp them in the back so that you have a little bit time for them to spawn, because they can always kill it right when they do spawn. And then here's some Zealot harassment. That one Zealot that was outside. I do see additional units being warped in, but he needs to be able to kill off the Vikings, the Banshees, and the Stalkers. Right now he's pulling off everything off the line. All the probes are coming off the line, but these probes are still staying there. But these probes are trying to kill off the Marines that are giving him a lot of trouble. And ooh, more Marines come in, reinforce, and he really needs to maybe boost these warp gates. He can boost these warp gates, and oh wow, a Colossus comes out, but the Vikings are not having any of it. It takes out the Colossus right away. Additional Phoenixes come out. He really needs to get some gateway units perhaps, or something else, because this is not working for him right now. Zealots come in, and Zealots are trying to get into position to hit the Marines, but the Marines are not allowing that, as they are focus firing on the Zealots, and the Zealots pretty much coming in one by one, which is not a very good way of fighting. And we do see that the Protoss player DuckloadRa is in a little bit of hurt right now, as he's trying to get the right unit mix to deal with this group of Marines, and more reinforcements arriving in the terms in Marines, and more Zealots are being warped in. Wow, this is a very intense battle at the moment, as these probes are actually mining off just 2 mineral patches. More Marines being rallied. Cannons being built in the back. More pylons go up, and this robotics bay is actually not powered, so we cannot make any more Colossus. And then trying to focus fire more pylons so that he would have less food, maybe possibly capped. But actually, the Protoss player DuckloadRa is actually quite behind. I think it's very difficult for him to deal with this, as he doesn't have that many resources. He's only mining on this base right over here, and more units are coming in, and the little one, realizing he's only mining off this one base, decides to go in here, and he's trying to take out this Nexus. If he takes out this Nexus, that might be the game right there. This Nexus is actually going down relatively quickly. 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, and the Nexus is gonna go down. No, the Nexus is not going down. The Nexus is still there. Ooh, and Marine takes down the Nexus. And right now, DuckloadRa doesn't have any sort of income, but he is able to kill off some of these units. I think Marines go down. There's only 2 Banshee, but he does GG out of the game. Wow, that was a nice game. Remember guys, always GG your games, and if you don't want to say GG in your game, say GG your face. Subscribe if you like what you see, and comment in the thingy box below. Thanks. See you guys next time.